Hey trail travelers, this is Kerry, and today we're going to talk about a problem I'm having with my 2018 Jeep JL Unlimited Rubicon. Stay right there. I'll be right back. So my problem with my JL started about 2 months ago, and I haven't experienced any actual problem with the vehicle, but all of a sudden the service axle locker light came on. And of course this is concerning because I off-road all the time, and not often do I need the lockers, but when I do, I kind of need them. So I don't want to have a problem with my lockers. So I take it to the Jeep dealer and take it in, and they come back and they go, oh, it's just a loose harness, no problem. We gave it some slack and you're going to be good to go. So all is well. And this was the day that I was leaving for a Moab trip. And I drive the 7 hours to Moab, get there, and the moment I put it in four-wheel drive, the service axle locker light came back on. So needless to say, I was a little bummed, a little peeved, and no problems. I had no problems with the lockers the whole weekend in Moab, no problem. Came back, took it in, and they came back and they're like, oh yeah, now it's actually a much more serious problem. Your front axle has a problem and we need to order parts. And they weren't very clear on what the parts were, but it did turn out later they finally gave me a list, and they kept telling me, well, we think it's the actuator, we think it's this, we think it's a sensor, we think it's all kinds of things. Pretty much as if they'd never seen this problem before. However, I know other people who have their Jeep at that same dealer for the same problem, and everybody is kind of getting the runaround. Now, some of this may be due to the dealer, some of it may be to poor communication coming down from Fiat or /Jeep, I don't know, but the problem that a lot of people are having, and if you search on YouTube and Google, you'll actually find a handful of people that are having this exact problem. And it does seem to only be on the 2018s. I'm not sure why. I haven't seen it on a 19 or a 2020, but I've seen it on the 18s. You get this message. Sometimes it's preceded by the locker light flashing, and then eventually you get the service axle locker message. And sometimes it's just what I got, which was the message. Some people are saying their lockers are engaging when they're just on surface streets in too high. Others are saying that they won't engage when they're telling them to engage. And talking to other people who are definitely more knowledgeable about the inner workings of a Jeep, they believe it is, and I'm going to refer down my laptop here a few times, the locker sensor itself is problematic. And they say it happens on the Wrangler JL and the Gladiator Rubicons. Now, the reason it's on these two particular ones, well, they're the only ones that come with lockers. So if you have a Jeep JL Rubicon or a Gladiator Rubicon with the factory lockers, that's when you could experience this problem. You're obviously not going to see it on a Sahara or a Sport because they don't have lockers. So this is a locker problem. So on Z-Automotive, and I use their products, the Taser JL Mini, they have a product that is designed to kind of take care of this, but let me read what it says right off their website. When the sensor fails, it usually starts out as a blinking locker lamp on the dash, which ends up in a service axle locker message. Once the locker system is in this fault, the lockers will no longer engage. The repair would normally be to replace the sensor, which seems like it would be a fairly inexpensive part, but the part is not available separately. Now, whether this is a Jeep issue or whether it's from Dana, we don't know. Dynatrack, we don't know where the problem lies in not being able to get that sensor separately, but it's not. And so the next step would be to simply replace the entire locker assembly, which isn't available either. That leaves one solution: replacing the entire axle. As crazy as that sounds, that is the solution most of the dealers are having to deal with. And that is exactly what's happening in my case. They are going to replace my entire front axle because there's a bad sensor. Let that sink in for a moment, but that is absolutely true. It's insane that they have to do this. So that's one solution, is you take it in and have them replace the entire front axle. Here's the problem. The front axle is on national back order. It took 7 weeks for me to get mine. And another guy who here is local at the same exact dealer took it in the day after me. He's being told he's not going to be able to get the part until September. This is the middle of July. So I got mine in 7 weeks. He's looking more like 4 or 5 months. So in his case, he's having more serious issues with it actually engaging when he's in too high, and I didn't. So my lockers still work. They engage, they disengage. It's just this light pops up and says to service them. So it's not detecting that they're engaged or not properly, and so it just flashes the light, but mine are working okay. So I'm in a better position than he is, and yet he's still going to be having a problem because he has to wait a long time for this part. And hopefully it'll come in sooner and they'll get him taken care of. But right now it's looking like it's quite a ways out. So what's the second solution besides having to wait forever and get an entire front axle, which if you've re-geared, it's probably not going to be covered under warranty. So in that case, you're not going to get a new axle. You need to look at a different solution. And now you could get the sensor off a wrecked unit at a salvage yard or something, or Z-Automotive has a solution. It's not a perfect solution, but it works. So it's called the Z-Locker OEM, and it solves the problem by bypassing the problematic sensor. It allows the locker to operate without the position sensor, yet provides the proper feedback to the Jeep's computers to keep the system operational without any errors or warnings. You get fully functioning lockers with no side effects from using the Z-Locker OEM. Installation is simple. Unplug the locker, plug the Z-Locker OEM in between the axle and the Jeep harness. It can be done in seconds with no tools. It will not harm the Jeep's computers. It uses the same signaling that it expects from the sensor. Connectors are the same one used by Jeep and are watertight. So if you have what I understand is only a 2018 JL Rubicon or a Gladiator Rubicon, and you're experiencing this axle issue, you could wait possibly a very long time to get a front axle replacement unless they decide to start supplying dealers with the sensor that is bad, or you can get the Z-Locker OEM for $179, have it in a few days, and have your problem fixed. Now, mine, fortunately, still under warranty. So my decision, well, I didn't have the option of the Z-Automotive part when this started happening. This is a brand new part that came out while I've been going through this with the dealer. But my system's still under warranty, so why not have them put in a front locker if that's what they choose to do? So I'm going to have a brand new axle on the front of my 2018 that's got 36,000 miles on it. Not a bad deal, I guess, but should this happen again outside of warranty, now I do have an extended warranty. I have a 100,000 mile, 5-year, 10-year warranty or whatever I paid extra for. So even if it happens again, I may opt to go with the warranty replacement simply to have newer parts. But if I re-gear, which I'm probably going to do later this summer or in the fall sometime, well then I might not be covered under warranty, in which case the Z-Locker OEM would be a ideal solution, because it's pop, plug it in, problem goes away, and I don't have to worry about it anymore, and I'm not going to have to deal with warranty issues from having re-geared my axles. So if you've never heard of the problem, now you know about the problem. If you didn't know what the fix was for the problem, well, now you know what the fix is, and the Z-Locker OEM from Z-Automotive is a valid option for those people who don't want to deal with the wait, or you throw it on there and then wait for the dealer to come up with a fix, or if you're out of warranty, again, it's a good solution, because instead of thousands of dollars out of pocket, you're spending $179 and basically making the problem go away. Speaking of Z-Automotive, I use the Taser JL Mini. I love it. It does a lot of cool things. And this is not sponsored by Z-Automotive. I don't know the guy. I know his name's Joe. That's about the extent of it. I've never talked to him personally. But I am going to recommend the Taser JL Mini. It's a little plug-in module. It will disable your auto start stop. It enables you to put your sway bar on into high. I think you can do my lockers in 4 high, something like that. There's a bunch of options. It allows me to change my tire size, my gearing, so that my shift points are correct, my speedometer is correct. There's a bunch of cool features of the JL Taser Mini. Highly recommend it. It's a great product. Definitely recommend Z-Automotive for this type of stuff. So there you have it. Jeep JL front axle service problem solutions, hopefully. But I will keep you updated as mine progresses. It is actually going into the dealer tomorrow for this work, and they say it's going to take 2 days. We'll see. So hopefully I have a brand new axle tomorrow or the next day, something like that. In the meantime, they're going to loan me a nice little Cherokee to drive around. So whatever, not taking it to the trails or anything, but that's my little loaner for a couple days. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler. Hope you appreciate this, and if this solves a problem for you, or at least gives you some information, I'm glad it was helpful. I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.